Today, I want to share with you, have you ever been laughed at, looked down upon, or hurt by someone? Have you ever thought of retaliating against them? I believe many people have had similar experiences. Even if you try to contain your anger, various grievances will still linger in your heart, wishing to retaliate tooth for tooth. But you'll find that harboring resentment towards someone is actually tormenting yourself. Continuously desiring revenge only inflicts further harm upon yourself. You're not only hating them, but also your own inability. So what's the point? People won't change their nature because of your retaliation, and the past won't be erased by engaging in a tit-for-tat exchange. Sometimes, you might feel relieved, but you're also wasting time entangling with others, becoming a laughingstock for no reason. It's better to maintain a calm mindset and ignore them. You'll eventually realize that the most vicious revenge against someone is simply 3 words: ignore them. This isn't about enduring, it's about refusing to engage in petty conflicts and wasting time on unworthy individuals. Unless it involves principles or warrants a warning, it's best to ignore them. This is the most time-saving and effortless approach. Don't think that by doing this, you're letting them off the hook. You must believe that whoever causes you pain and turmoil isn't a good person. Keeping your distance from them helps you avoid a series of troubles and allows them to reap what they sow. When we focus on improving ourselves, we naturally distance ourselves from them, demonstrating our magnanimity and wisdom. It shows that we're no longer on the same level, and they can only watch silently as we progress, silently depleting themselves. In this world, there are people who treat you well, and there are those who treat you poorly. Those who treat you well don't require any special effort from you. They always convey kindness and warmth to you. As for those who treat you poorly, your existence is a threat to them, so they naturally want to get rid of you. Many times, even if we quietly mind our own business, we become thorns in the eyes of others, facing suppression, exclusion, and scheming. Indulging in such bullying behavior will only embolden them and trap us in unbearable oppression. We must take decisive measures and firmly fight back to return the unpleasantness to its source and regain our peace of mind. And the wisest approach isn't to confront them head-on, but to employ the following methods. 1. Accumulate strength. When you're as excellent as those around you, you're more likely to provoke jealousy and suppression. But when you stand out from the crowd, surpassing those around you, all they're left with is envy. They'll no longer have the power to undermine your position, making it futile to challenge you. Therefore, it's better to become the crane in the flock of chickens. Temujin, the Mongolian leader who founded the Yuan dynasty, was enthusiastic about expanding his territory. His cavalry traversed the Eurasian continent, making opponents willingly submit wherever they went. However, this astute emperor had a painful experience of being insulted and harmed in his early years. His father was murdered, his wife was abducted, and he spent most of his life on the run, narrowly escaping death several times. During his exile, Temujin formed a bond with Jarchi Kasar, a young talent from another tribe, and they became sworn brothers to unite the grasslands and fight together. However, as Temujin's charisma gradually gained acceptance from many tribes, and his prestige soared, his former brother, Jarchi Kasar, became filled with resentment. Eventually, Jarchi Kasar, in alliance with the aristocracy, gathered an army and engaged Temujin in a decisive battle. After several rounds, the once destitute fugitive, Temujin, had become a leader who could summon crowds with a single call, and Jarchi Kasar, the leader of a gathered army, was defeated. Thus, Temujin unified the northern wilderness and embarked on a grander conquest journey. From the brotherhood between Temujin and Jarchi Kasar, which went from being as close as blood brothers to parting ways and engaging in a life-and-death struggle, we can easily discern that the most vicious revenge against someone is to become a person with a broader mind and superior abilities than them. Only then will the losing side truly acknowledge their defeat. 2. Proactively distance yourself. Like water and oil, those who constantly look unfavorably upon you are likely seeing you as a potential threat. If they don't sideline you, their own position may be at risk. So, if they're your boss or have more power than you, they'll be even more relentless in setting traps for you, hoping you'll fall into them. During the reign of Emperor Wu of Han, the Prime Minister, Gong Sun Hong, was narrow-minded and ruthless. Although he presented himself as diligent, frugal, filial, knowledgeable, and magnanimous in front of the emperor, he couldn't tolerate Dong Zhongshu, a prominent Confucian scholar who enjoyed the emperor's favor. Dong Zhongshu's talent and reputation far surpassed Gong Sun Hong's. For Gong Sun Hong, who climbed the ranks by expounding on scriptures, Dong Zhongshu had become his #1 competitor. Therefore, Gong Sun Hong repeatedly recommended Dong Zhongshu to serve as the Prime Minister of Jiaoxi, a country known for its king's brutality. The king often executed central officials sent to him without hesitation. It was evident that Gong Sun Hong was trying to use this opportunity to eliminate Dong Zhongshu. Dong Zhongshu was fully aware of this but understood that he couldn't afford to offend anyone. So, he showed compliance and went to Jiaoxi. Once there, he was extremely cautious at every step. Fortunately, King Lu Fei respected Dong Zhongshu's talents and always treated him with courtesy. However, a year later, the ever-vigilant Dong Zhongshu politely asked to leave, allowing him to retreat unscathed. From then on, he focused on writing, and his reputation grew even more respected. 3. Turn a blind eye, use indifference to convey your stance. There's a saying, would you leave a promising platform because of a disgusting boss or colleague? A highly rated answer is no. The more challenging the situation, the more it becomes a test of endurance, forging an indomitable spirit. It's true, one has to overcome numerous obstacles to finally make it through. If you're passionate about your work and can find enough fulfillment and value, isn't such a platform what you've been dreaming of? Compared to those who constantly nitpick and provoke you, they're truly insignificant. Initially, you might feel intense resentment towards those deliberately targeting you and may even feel tempted to retaliate. But once you engage, you'll fall into the trap. So what's the point? Mongolian once said in Late Bloomers, those who dislike you are like a passing breeze. Just brush the dirt off yourself and forget about them. At first glance, you might think that not retaliating seems somewhat cowardly, but in reality, ignoring them is the most vicious revenge. It means you don't regard them at all, you don't even care about their existence. Their presence won't have any impact on you. Consequently, it's them who feel frustrated. From this perspective, the most vicious revenge against someone isn't exerting all your effort in retaliation, but rather ignoring them with 3 simple words. This signifies true magnanimity and broad-mindedness. Remember, if someone constantly dislikes you, plots against you behind your back, and undermines you, don't bother engaging with them. You're not on the same level as them. What you need to do is silently accumulate strength, undergo a qualitative transformation, and leave this circle completely. Stand taller, go farther, and when you become excellent, those petty individuals will cease to exist in your eyes. Because instead of looking down, you'll be looking up. In life, you can't please everyone, and there's no need to be lenient toward those who trouble, criticize, or provoke you. The ultimate response is to remain undisturbed, strengthen yourself, and ultimately leave them in the dust, far behind. That's all for today's sharing. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and share. Here, you'll never be alone.